For Guild Wars Tactics 3, we are going to be suiciding into the Angel team. Now this comp is going to have two different variations. It's either going to be red Tarmiel or blue Tarmiel. Depends on the guild. Both versions have their pros and cons. The team that we'll use is the same for both, just the strategy is just a little different. But today it's going to be red Tarmiel because that's what we're fighting. So we have Rimuru Suicide with heal Liz. She is kind of needed. We want the heal. So what's going on here? Well, we have obviously 6/6 Abyss from Rimuru. You could probably get away with 5/6. You just need to make sure that damage is made up for by having a good Shuna ult and a good Merlin ult. Now this pass is pretty good. It's going to be stealing buffs, adding it to his pierce rate. Shuna is here because she has a very nice heal, and as long as you have her relic, the heal will turn into a single debuff cleanse. And her passive will allow the unknowns to take 20% less damage. Now, if you pair that with Merlin's passive, it will allow Merlin to not get one-tapped. The only way they could get one-tapped if they got a handful of single-target merges, and, I don't know, 3 silvers could probably do her in. But we also need to make sure that she's getting the one targeted, since she'll be taking the least amount of damage with all this in mind. So, in order to do that, we are going to make sure that she has the lowest amount of HP by running lifesteal in her bottom row. Now, just like normal, we do also have crit defense. That is going to be the same for Shuna, HP crit defense, and then Rimmer is going to be on attack defense. And then Liz, doesn't really matter. I have her, you're on, but it's not going to make a big deal. And then for the card sets, I used the unknown race allies, because Mael's going to debuff you with sunspots, and then you'll have your damage taken decreased a little more. And then what is this? Increase HP related stats. So we get a little tank here, you know, synergize well with Shuna and Merlin passive. Hopefully we can get a kill with our ults. So how does this play out? Well, turn 1, I believe, is going to be Tarm buff, Mael debuff, Mael single target. And you'll see how we'll respond here to that in just a second. We'll see how this goes. Hopefully we don't get one shot. Which we shouldn't, because we have Merlin, or not Merlin, Liz heal. So there's the buff, adaptation. Sunspot comes out, Merlin. Oh, I keep calling her Merlin. Liz dies, we get the heal. It's gonna single target Merlin. Got a couple crits, but you know, got the crit defense on, we're looking good. So now, what we're gonna do here, again, we want to make sure that she doesn't get one tapped, so we're going to lifesteal with her. So what we're going to do is we're going to single target into Marg for the type advantage. With lifesteal, we'll have a good amount of HP, if not full health. And we want to prioritize Rim ult. So we're going to move, and we're going to infect. But actually what we're going to do is infect first, move, and then single target. You want the infect out first, right, because Tarmiel passive, we don't want him recovering HP. That'll put her to half. Now, because we are infecting, that is going to proc the Margaret to use her cleanse. And that's going to allow us to not get triple single targeted, because that is the only way that Merlin would die. Now, because of the buff, they are going to be a little tankier, but that should be okay. So Tarm single target comes out, Liz AoE comes out. We got lucky that there were no single target merges, so they did not kill Merlin. So we have another infect, so we're going to go ahead and use that. That's going to put Merlin at full gauge. Obviously, Rim got ult last turn. We're ult locked because of Tarmiel Relic, but because of Shuna Relic, we're going to cleanse both ult locks off, and then we are going to ult. And this should look pretty okay. There's our cleanse. Rimuru's been stealing buff, so he has double pierce rate. So it's 350k. It's not the craziest amount of damage, but it does kill Margaret and 1/4 everyone. Now they don't have cleanse, so they're not going to be able to lifesteal or recover any of that back in any way. So they're doing another buff. It looks like double Mael maybe. And because Merlin got the full HP, I don't think he could two-tap her. Nope, just a single target from Tarmiel, that's fine. So now, we have a very nice Merlin ult ready to go. We could heal again. We'll get Shuna ult, because why not? She'll probably full heal from the ult, but I think we'll do it just to be safe. It'll add another... Does it add another Pierce buff? I think that's what her relic does, right? Yeah, we got that across the board. Let me verify that real quick. Oh, if it cleanses, but it's not going to be cleansing. That's fine. So we'll throw out her ult, and then, because I have double Pierce buff on Rimuru, if anyone's living, the single target is going to be very strong. We have a couple people living, so... Who are you going to prioritize? The one with ults. Red Tarmiel is dead. And now we'll have Shuna ults. If we needed it. But the second round of Abyss kicks in. And that's going to finish off everybody there. So the single target from Rim's not necessarily needed. Probably could have ended it there. But you do end up full HP if you played all the way out with the Shuna heal. And minimal casualties, I guess. So if you guys like that, drop a thumb. Maybe sub if you're into that. And I'll see you in the next one.